Good kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, cuts to his corner, take the shot, he scores!
With the final game of the month for both of these teams, for Peters Township, already game number 16 out of 18. Just 2 games to go after this. Penguins Cup playoffs, there'll be a off week mixed in. Next week, PT back in action, but after that, they'll take the second week of February off. Erie Cathedral Prep will also play next week. In fact, the Ramblers will be in action every week until the end of the PIHL regular season. Peters Township, of course, went all the way to the Penguins Cup championship game last year before falling to Seneca Valley. PT tonight dressed in the home whites, triumphantly returning to Printscape after a 6-0 win last week. 2 weeks ago, they sent Seneca Valley, the defending Penguins Cup champions, to a 5-2 loss. And tonight they'll take on Erie Cathedral Prep almost exactly 1 year to the day after the last time these two teams got together here. And Cathedral Prep picked up a 5-2 win, with Jacob Khrushchevsky picking up a couple of goals. So we're underway on the dump and chase by Peters Township. John Camp back in action here. Camp, a late addition to this roster for PT. He has 4 goals, though, in just 3 games. Is trying to drag it by Ryan Lee was Alexei Kowalis, and he's knocked down. And so Cathedral Prep will now try to spin it back toward the PT zone. Headman pass from Owen Barrett. First-year varsity defenseman hooks up with Camp eventually on the deflection, but the Indians are offside a half a minute into this game. Again, PT with a record of 12-2-1, 25 total points. That's 3 clear of North Allegheny for the top spot in Class AAA. Cathedral Prep trying to avoid that play-in game. 8 will play 9. The 2 bottom teams in the division will square off in a sudden death showdown to try to make it into the bracket proper before the quarterfinals begin and start the Penguins Cup playoffs in earnest. So a little different this year with Plum dropping out after 1 year in AAA. Brady Seekley tries to slug it forward. It hops right over to Colin DiNardo, the senior centerman. DiNardo plays it over on the far wing side, and the junior Hunter Ferguson knocks it up to the Cathedral Prep line. That's where it's picked up there by Michael Orlando. He turns and filters it ahead. Ferguson retreating and retrieves it well. Aiden Alexander, fan on the attempted exit pass. Going to be offside here against Cathedral Prep. Bad break for Patrick Kelly as he couldn't pull it in cleanly. And so PT gets a free breakout. Over on the far wing, it's Ferguson missing on that lead man pass, looking for Brady Seekley, and so it's an icing call against the Indians. 15:38 to go and a scoreless first period of play. This is Matt Geica coming to you solo this evening. Brian Chichek had a prior engagement, so hoping to have him back for our next broadcast, which will be on the road at Mount Lebo next Monday. But as for right now, looking forward to this one. PT bringing the league's highest scoring offense into this game. 4.1 goals per outing. Long drive goes wide of the starting netminder, senior Brock Sharbaugh. So Sharbaugh gets the start as the redirect goes just wide of the net from the side of the goal. Jarrett Aylesworth got that at least toward the net. Here's a long wrister from the point by Evan Sala. 2 goals last week, but he misfired. Scrambles on the far wing boards. Spun behind his back by James Sturm, and a slap shot from the point is denied by Sharbaugh. Chase Paglia got it on target that time. Paglia, one of a handful of returners here for this Cathedral Prep team. Now Jacob Gray is stretching out to try to take this lead pass. Gray making his varsity debut here for Rick Tingle's Indians. Unable to make anything happen, though, is PT, and so they'll have to back check here. Cole Szymanski soars in behind his net. Pops it up the far wing side. It's thrown right through the crease by Patrick Kelly. Sharbaugh let it go. So Brock Sharbaugh making his 8th start, matching his goalie tandem mate, Alex Wilbert. In terms of that category, this another icing here against the Indians. By the way, at the other end of the ice, it's Seth Faulkner, as expected, making his 14th start for Cathedral Prep in 14 games. Sharbaugh sports a .912 save percentage and a 2.10 goals against in the PT net with a record of 5-1-1. His only loss came here against North Allegheny. That's the only loss this season on home ice for Peters Township as Luppy helps clear it out. Ryan Luppy, 20 points on the season, wearing the captain's C well and hopefully putting together a full healthy season after missing the back end of it in his junior year with shoulder surgery. Ryan Lee can't handle this D-to-D pass from Barrett. So the Ramblers go to work. It's Jacob Khrushchevsky. He's stripped of the puck by Jeremy Anthos. 16 assists on the year for Anthos. He whiffed on the pass up ahead. Ice looking a little sticky to start this game. Back to retrieve this puck is Cathedral Prep's Orlando. He jams it up the wall. No one in the vicinity for the orange-clad Ramblers, and that'll bring it on back for the icing. 13:46 to go in the first. I mentioned Seneca Valley will be here to play Cannon Mac in a couple hours' time. That'll be the nightcap. Elsewhere, down at Alpha Ice Complex in Harmerville, North Allegheny trying to creep closer to Peters Township. They'll be on the road to take on Central Catholic. Dylan McElhaney leads ahead after the John Camp face-off win. And it's taken on here by Evan Sala. Flips a pass up the center. It's intercepted by Barrett, and he puts it right back into the mix. From behind the Cathedral Prep zone, it's Griffin Gerlach. Ran into some trouble there as the Indians jam it up on this near side. Camp waiting for that puck to come free, but it hops loose instead on the other side of the ice for Hayden Cox. Cox tried to clear on the far wing, could not. Barrett held it in. Drew Wilbert up ahead. He couldn't make any offense happen there, so it's Barrett hightailing it back in his own end. Makes a bank pass, and John Camp will pick it up in flight. Camp taps it to himself, breaking through defenders and put it in front of the net, and it's intercepted and knocked down the rink by Hayden Cox. Again, an icing call, so pretty choppy start to this one at Princegate. Last Thursday, Cathedral Prep stormed to a 5-0 lead at home en route to that 6-2 win against Mount Lebo. It was a much slower burn for PT, as it always has been this year. Peters Township's been outscored in the first period, but after that, they have a 55-24 goals advantage. They got a goal late in the second period last week at Butler, and then everything broke loose in the third. 5 goals. Trying to work his way into the offensive zone, Jordan Adams is for Cathedral Prep, but he lost control. Ferguson, head up. Simply saucers one just wide of the Cathedral Prep net. Netminder Faulkner lets that one go. Neither goalie's had to make a save yet. Bank play into the neutral area. James Sturm behind the back pass. A good one on to Adams. Take the shot. And there's the first stop for Brock Sharbaugh as he kicked it away. Adams' rebound attempt goes wide. From the far side, Ferguson tripped up a bit. Garrett Sample might have gotten away with one for Cathedral Prep as he creeps down the boards. Now joining the fray here is Josh Jones. Jones, number 58 for Peters Township, missed on that connection to Colin DiNardo. And now Aiden Alexander back to get it again. He couldn't complete the pass. Chase Pagley on the intercept. But Ferguson gets it again. Ferguson to Brady Seekley. He's wiped out and a clean check by Evan Sala, who pinched in. But the puck's still in the possession of the Indians. And Hunter Ferguson will toss it up in the air before taking a check from Sturm. So the Ramblers throwing the body around to start this one. 11:32 to go in the first period. No score yet. Aiden Alexander reverses it up this near wing side. Mark Lehman back in the lineup after missing a game. Couldn't clear. Jamming it forward, Cole Wallace. And here's Jacob Gray. Unable to swing that one out of the zone. And here's a floating shot that's deflected off the outside of the net, taken by Michael Orlando of Cathedral Prep. Orlando's over there to stop it before it passes the red line, and he sends it right back in on a legal play. Whoa, look out. Falling down is Ferguson, turning to pass it in front, Cole Wallace, but it was blocked. Good job there by Lehman to defend the front of his net, the centerman, junior. He runs over a member of the Ramblers at center ice. That was Sala who goes sprawling. Now Jacob Gray lifts it to the far side of the rink. Picked up in flight by Orlando. Too hard on that pass. Jake Gray's back to get it. He likes to connect or tries to connect to Szymanski, but it's past him. The Ramblers again on the attack. Khrushchevsky pulling it to the outside and driving a slap shot that missed. Actually banged off his own man, Kowalas. Now thrown right to the front. Kowalas is hunting the rebound of the Kelly shot, unable to do so. And Orlando, long shift here for Cathedral Prep. Here's Torrey Schwartz, 14 goals on the year, snaps it wide, hunts his own rebound, and he finds it in the near side corner, but it floats off his stick. Schwartz, 2 goals last week. Now a giveaway. Schwartz looks for the pass in the middle from Luppy. Yanks it free, does Schwartz, but it hops over to the near side boards. Kowalas chops it out to center. Jake Bush back to get for Peters Township. Anthos on the breakout. The Indians working into the offensive zone. Anthos shoots low, and there's the first stop of the game for Faulkner. And the rebound hopped loose to Luppy, but he couldn't put it on line. Now Szymanski jumps down the wall a little bit. Couldn't keep that puck in the offensive end. He'll spin it back in on the backhand side. Under 10 to play in the first period. From back behind the Ramblers' goal, it's Gerlach snapping a pass that's intercepted and taken by the quick-moving Anthos. Banks it to himself up the near side, trying to make something from nothing, and now it's intercepted by Schwartz. Wrist shot is blocked in front of the net. Good job by Sample, showing some courage, and here come the Ramblers again. It's Adams shooting, and it's off the shin guard of Barrett. Jordan Adams hops on that loose puck behind the goal, but couldn't center it. Now Adams lifts his foot out of the way to avoid the offside. Kurt Johnson shot it in for Cathedral Prep. Erie Cathedral Prep's won 4 out of 6, so playing their best hockey are the Ramblers right now. Might be a dangerous foe for, say, a team like Peters Township if they do end up in that 8th spot to start the Penguins Cup playoffs. Anthos turning. And now stopping up and heading up the far wing side. Makes a pass near wing. Ryan Lee, assistant captain for the Indians. Lee took the shot. That was rejected. John Camp steps up and rips one. Bounces around toward the slot. Drew Wilbert hacked at it, but it bounded behind the goal. Now McElhaney. Oh, he nearly took it away there from the Ramblers' Evan Sala, but Sala got a second chance as McElhaney overskated, and the puck is cleared by the visitors. And it hops into the bench with 8:19 to go in a quick-moving first period. No penalties, no goals yet. Time to offer up a hearty thank you to Brian Mitchell of Pittsburgh Hockey Digest for their continued sponsorship of this coverage, and to Lori Seekley and the crew at Peters Township Community Television and Peters Township High School for providing the hardware and the camera work on scene. Rotating cast of characters. Good to meet everybody and good to team up on several hockey nights here at Printscape. Second straight year we've done these live broadcasts. 4th year for me on the cable access tape delay shows. Back behind the net after a scramble at the side of the PC goal, it's Drew Wilbert. He wanted to hook up with Ferguson, but he couldn't catch up to it until he got to the second attempt. And he lifts it past Adams, who tried to flag it down out of midair. This is Drew Wilbert. Couldn't put it between the legs, though, of the back-checking Orlando. Big tie up there just inside the blue line. Drew Wilbert unable to push it past Sample, who sweeps it out to center. Knocked right back in by the Indians. 7.5 to go in the first. Still no score. Orlando drives this one off an Indian stick. DiNardo forcing Adams rather, to skate toward the middle. His long shot, and that's denied by Sharbaugh. Alexander clicks it off the stick of Brady Seekley, the senior forward. Seekley saw his line mate Jones in ahead of the play, so he had to simply dump it in. DiNardo looking for his first point of his senior season. He's on the forecheck here, joined by Jones, who pins Kowalas to the wall. And it hops free to the Indians. Cycle game on now for PT. Jones kicking to DiNardo. Deflected in front of the net by Seekley, and it goes wide into the corner. On this near wing, Alexander couldn't keep this clear in. Didn't touch it apparently, so it'll be an icing again against the visitors from Erie. Cathedral Prep, counting this game, has 5 left before the end of the regular season. 2 at home, up at the Mercyhurst Ice Center, 3 away from home. And no one has a tougher road schedule than Cathedral Prep every year in this league. Typically very competitive. This year, as I mentioned, the tough start, but they pour on the goals lately. There's a check from behind there, it appeared, that will send PT to the penalty box for the first time. Tumbling down Patrick Kelly, but he appears to be okay for Cathedral Prep. Josh Jones, the guilty man for Peters Township. Well, actually, it'll be penalties to both sides on the retaliation. We have roughing, and we'll skate 5 men apiece. Koalas to the box for the Ramblers. And I already mentioned Jones will have a seat for the next 2 minutes. So it won't affect the play on the ice. And so the Indians avoid a shorthanded situation. Lehman scoops up a loose puck at center. Mark Lehman sets sail into the offensive end. Gray blocked the attempted clear by Cathedral Prep. Hops free over to the far side, and the senior Nico Watsula leans in. Some different looking lines for Rick Tingle tonight outside of his top unit with Luppy and Anthos and Schwartz, which has been together for essentially the whole season. And why not? As I mentioned, all three in the top 5 of Class AAA scoring. Gray sends Watsula away with an exit pass. Watsula trying to tap it by Orlando. He does get there briefly, but then he's bumped off the play by Orlando. Good recovery. Gray reaching out. Jacob Gray in his debut here for the Indians at the varsity level. Dekes in behind the net. Dangled a bit, did Gray. Lee holding and now filtering in deep. Goes by Watsula, but Lehman's going to catch up at the half wall far side. Dispatches that one over to Watsula, behind the net. Watsula to Lee. Wanted to tee up a shot, but couldn't drag it cleanly. And so the Ramblers now have possession. Chase Paglia tapped it back to his line mate Sturm, and right back to Paglia, who fires in deep. 5:14 to go in the first period. Still no score. Peters Township in the white. Cathedral Prep in the orange. Watsula, center ice shot, giving Faulkner some trouble. He eventually rips it out of his pads. It was somewhere stuck there in the pillows. Kelly's backhand bouncer connects there with Hayden Coxon over the blue line. Into the PT zone behind the net, but driven out of danger by Aiden Alexander. Now Luppy yanks it back against the grain. Anthos will take that pass, but he's bumped away off the puck. Cathedral Prep defending well against the highest scoring team in Class AAA to this point. But the Indians are that slow burn type of offense. We've seen it all year long. Kelly hammers that slap shot from 45 feet away, and he missed. It bangs off the end boards. Luppy pulls up inside the line. Wanted to connect over here on this near side for Anthos. Anthos catches up to that Karam. Schwartz rips it behind the goal. Luppy put it in front without looking. He thought maybe Anthos would be there, but it was a little bit away from him. Alexander, nice job to tap that away from Adams, who was skating behind him. Would have been perhaps a partial break. This is Luppy. Wanted to knock it in front. Redirected. Now Schwartz gets to that bouncing puck and backhands it on target. Faulkner made the save. Adams couldn't get out of the zone cleanly. Luppy forced him to just fire it out to the neutral zone. Ferguson rips it into this near corner. It hops around behind the net. Anthos colliding with Garrett Sample, and Sample finds some room to hook up with Kelly, and now cross rink over here to Chase Paglia. Snaps a wrist shot over the crossbar as Sharbaugh flailed at it with the glove hand. Ferguson couldn't pin that puck to the wall. On with it comes James Sturm. Area pass in front. Great save by Sharbaugh on Adams. Best stop of the game for either side. 3:26 to go in the first period. Boy, the flow is tremendous in this game suddenly as Alexander looks to barrel ahead, but he's dispossessed by Sala. And as if on cue, we're going to get the icing here against the Ramblers, who are content in this game so far to just get rid of that puck. They're not taking any chances, and that's probably a good policy against an Indians team that can hurt you off the counter. Any turnovers in the middle of the ice can be deadly. Here's John Camp to face it off, and we'll do it again. The officials tonight, Urban and Morgan. Denny Urban drops this puck. The soon-to-be Robert Morris University Hall of Famer, Denny Urban. The Colonials' all-time leading scorer from the blue line in the history of that D1 program. Camp tried to pull that one around James Sturm. Couldn't do it. It's thrown right to the middle by Drew Wilbert, though, and then knocked away to the sidewall. Szymanski, step 2. Drew Wilbert sends it in deep, but beyond the reach of McElhaney, the only sophomore in the lineup here tonight for Rick Tingle, wearing number 23. McElhaney's played now 15 games, ranks second on the squad, as this pass is well beyond his reach. He'll give a cursory forward check, just the lone man in on the pressure. Now he's joined by Camp, and Camp helps him strip the puck away. McElhaney gave it to Camp, but Camp wasn't ready for it. Now Camp in front. McElhaney, redirect, score! Dylan McElhaney and John Camp team up, and it's McElhaney putting it in with 2:22 left in the first period. A first-period goal for the Indians. How about it? Take a bow. Dylan McElhaney, he's got his second goal in his 15th varsity game, and the Indians have an early lead for once. Second straight game in which PT has scored the first goal. It'll be McElhaney from camp. PT gets an even strength tally. What else is new? All 6 goals last week against Butler were during 5-on-5 play. And it's Lee lifting it up inside the Cathedral Prep line, gloved down by Eric Schwab, and now Schwab will chase after it. But he's overwhelmed by Josh Jones, who spins the blind backhand pass looking for DiNardo, but it's intercepted. On that far wing, Kelly, a couple of good moves. Strong ones over to his backhand side. Kelly driving wide on that backhand, now flips the forehand, saves Sharbaugh, rebound. Chipped over the crossbar. Kowalis wanted to shoot, but I think Barrett got his stick in the way to deny that one. DiNardo swoops into the attacking zone. 90 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 PT on a Dylan McElhaney goal. Some secondary scoring for the Indians tonight so far. On the charge, Jacob Khrushchevsky, leading scorer for the Ramblers. Try to get around Barrett, who gave him a little bit of a bear hug as the puck drifted in on Sharbaugh, and he holds on to it, taking no chances with 1:22 to go in the first. Well, this first period, a continuation of a theme for Cathedral Prep this season. Now make it 18-8. The Ramblers have been outscored in the opening frame. Otherwise, Cathedral Prep has been neck and neck with their opponents. They've only been outscored by 1 in the second and third combined. They have a hard time keeping up that ratio, though, against this Indians team, but every game's different. Watsula now, high in the attacking zone. Played it into the corner for Gray, and now Lehman taps it further. Watsula, a little slow to read what his teammates were doing there, but Gray's going to charge in, keep this puck alive. It hops free. Lehman shot it on one touch, and it's grabbed onto by Faulkner. No further play. 54 seconds to go in the first. Just Sharbaugh's third start in the past 8 games. He had a nice run there early in this year when the Indians started that 8-game winning streak. Then Wilbert got more of the action from Coach Tingle. The two of them are basically tied in playing time, and they'll be pretty close even after tonight, assuming Sharbaugh goes the distance. 40 seconds left in the first period. PT trying to build on that 1-0 lead here. Lehman, strong move. Now Gray, nearly getting his first varsity goal and varsity point, but nubbed it wide on the chance. On the regather, here come the Ramblers. Paglia going to the doorstep looking for the speedy Adams, but it's swatted away. Good defending from Ferguson. Under 20 to go in the first now. Rip shot on a deflection by Sturm. Missed the right post by a couple of inches. Ferguson now getting some advice from his teammates. You could hear him from the bench saying, take your time, there's 10 seconds to go. Ferguson tried to make a pass on this near side. Now it bounces free to Alexander, who will let time expire. Well, the time just stopped at 0.2 seconds. Alexander just handed it right over to the Ramblers. I don't know what happened there. Malfunction with the clock. That should be the end of the period. With the Indians ahead 1-0, and it will be. I guess we'll just make it official at the moment, and there is the buzzer. So through one period of play, the only goal on the board to Peters Township. McElhaney from Camp. John Camp gets back in the action. Missed a few games there. He was a late addition to the team anyway this season. There you see the PT Indians at the bench, drinking some water, getting some advice from the coaching staff, led by Rick Tingle, assisted by Brandon Tingle and Cliff Bumford. On the other side of the ice, down to my right, Alex Luddy, the head coach for Cathedral Prep, is assisted by Gregory Cox, Robert Kowalis, and Chris Wassel. And we always like to mention the backup goaltenders. Tonight, backing up Sharbaugh is Alex Wilbert. And on the Cathedral Prep bench, it's Devin Dovichow, who I mentioned made his only appearance of the season against PT up in Erie a couple of months ago. All right, we're set for the second period. 17 minutes on the clock on the center-hung scoreboard here at Printscape Arena at South Point. And off we go with the Indians ahead 1-0. Cole Szymanski tapped it off this near sideboard. Picking it up was Ryan Luppy. He wants to get the forecheck game going. Just got rid of it. Not a lot of speed there for the Indians, but pulling it free now and backhanding off the outside of the goal was Schwartz. Torrey Schwartz with a good chance for goal number 15. He's just a couple behind Wyatt George now for the division lead. Bank play ahead's a good one. Here comes Kelly. Slammed on the brakes there, but lost control of the puck briefly. Now Szymanski can't take it away from Kelly. He's got some good moves, does Kelly. And his jam shot was denied by Sharbaugh, and he holds on for the faceoff. Patrick Kelly, 4 goals and 9 assists on the season for a total of 13 points. He's just outside the top 10 in Class AAA scoring himself. Try to get you the scratches for Peters Township at least, as I know their roster much better than I do the Ramblers. Barrett drove this puck behind his own net. Here's Ryan Lee to scoop it up and skate into open ice. McElhaney, good little dish into the middle for Camp to shoot one over the net. He had Faulkner staring him down, and there's an icing call again against Cathedral Prep. Faulkner stood up on that shot from Camp. A lot of times in hockey today, you see the goaltenders reflexively go down to both knees in the butterfly, but not that time. Looks like Seth Hanna, Jeffrey Poon are scratches tonight. Also, Jared Lesniakowski, haven't seen him on the ice yet. Cole Szymanski, who's played forward every other time he's been on the ice this year, is on defense this evening for the Indians, or at least he has been so far. Drew Wilbert reaching ahead. And I haven't seen Eric Wilbert yet either, so maybe just one out of the 3 possible Wilberts in play here. McElhaney yanked a shot that missed off the loose puck, and this one's hopping into the air and swatted out of the atmosphere by Tyler Yakabuchi of Cathedral Prep, but a little too clean with that swat ahead. It'll be another icing call against the visiting squad. No Jack Zakin or Parker Johnson as well for the Indians. The line of DiNardo, Seekley, and Jones out there. DiNardo won it cleanly. Lee shot it into his own man. It might have been tipped out at the point of attack. I believe Jordan Adams got a piece, and so it went well wide of its intended target. Now Adams trying to get by Lee, but Lee uses that long stick to poke it up to Seekley, but he's unable to deke past the defending of Kurt Johnson. Chase Paglia looks at the net from the right wing side and missed the goal with the shot. Now Seekley, good little feet ahead, but just about 2 inches too far for Jones to latch on to. Just couldn't quite lasso it in. Now Owen Barrett on the chase back for Peters Township. Barrett to Jones, clicks it into the neutral zone, but DiNardo a little too slow to catch up to it. Here's Lee, swooping through center, and a hard snapshot right into the trapper of Seth Faulkner. And the Cathedral Prep netminder wants a face-off. Faulkner's record on the year, well, he's made every start, so his record mirrors the team's record, 4-9. Seth Faulkner has an .882 save percentage and a .348 goals against average. Cathedral Prep's giving up 3.7 per game. That's 8th out of the 9 teams. They're ahead of only Cannon Mac, which is the only team that they are in front of in the standings. It's funny how that works. Usually, the bottom of the barrel defensive teams are the bottom of the barrel teams overall. Although sometimes you can get away with it if you have a really powerful offense. But it seems more often than not, good defending is a little more important than good attacking. From behind the Cathedral Prep net, Eric Schwab couldn't help get that puck out. Now Kelly swoops back in behind and revs it up himself. His dish hops right into the Peters Township bench, and that draws a rise from the Indians. It's tossed right back out to the referee, Morgan, 14-12 left in the second period. Hello to Laura and Judy signing in on the Facebook Live feed on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. Thanks for joining us. Rare is the night where you go inside an ice rink to warm up, but this is one of those, maybe the coldest week of the year. So, yeah, why not play some hockey? Well, I hope it's the coldest week of the year. I'll put it that way. Curtis Miller flagged this down with his glove hand for Cathedral Prep, and again, an icing call. So this game's been odd. We've had some long stretches of back-and-forth play, no whistles, and then we've also had moments where the rhythm really bogs down with repeated icing calls. I misspoke there. I think I said that was Curtis Miller. It was actually Eric Schwab who sent it down the rink. Going forward off the draws, Anthos put the shot right on the second touch, and Faulkner made the save and then swatted the loose puck out of the air with that big goal stick of his. Adams crunch, but made an accurate pass that Chase Paglia just couldn't handle. And it slides right back into the Cathedral prep zone. No icing here as it stops short of the line. Anthos on it first. He has Schwartz floating open, trying to get to a soft spot. And now Schwartz reaches out behind the net, but Luppy will get there first. Luppy shoved it in front of the goal, but it's taken on there by James Sturm. Sturm to the near wing side. Paglia drifting wide, shoved it right to the front of the net. Oh, and nearly a chance for Adams, but I don't think he got a clean stick to it. Schwartz wanting to poke it by the defending of Orlando. Ferguson drifting in. Left it there for Anthos. Missed on that attempted shot. Now, Alexander to Schwartz. Dished out to Schwartz for a shot, and it stopped after Anthos set him up. And this will drift right down wide of the net, just barely. No, Morgan says it touched the goaltender, Sharbaugh. I'm not sure it did. Frankly, I think both Morgan and myself were screened out there. Really tough to tell. So benefit of the doubt goes to the team that cleared it, I guess. Alexander in first on this loose puck. Drew Wilbert wanted to dish out to Camp, who's covering the point. Alexander in deep. Made a backhand dish. Camp has it. Top of the circle. Wrist shot. And I believe that Faulkner got a blocker on that. If not, it maybe creased the outside of the left post. This is McElhaney, the only goal scorer in this game. Wanted to find Camp, who they hooked up just recently for that first goal, but that pass was awry. Now McElhaney reaching, but couldn't take that rim around the boards. It's Camp. He'll put it right back to the kick plate there. From the far wall, Drew Wilbert with 12 minutes now to go in the second period. 1-0 Peters Township. McElhaney stretches out to take this pass, shot it low. Faulkner booted it to the corner. Camp in after it. John Camp wearing number 9 for Peters Township, as he did earlier this season during a stint of consecutive games. Tyler Yakabuchi bounces this one toward the Peters Township goal. That's where it's dampened by Sharbaugh. Drew Wilbert looked to make a pass near side, then still try to do it again, and he drove it right into the skate of James Sturm. So the Indians will just have to dump in, and it's quickly taken by Evan Sala. Sala's pass missed to Adams, but here's Paglia on the turnover in the neutral zone. Paglia gets him behind the net, put it out in front. Oh, Adams just shot that puck right over the top of the net on the one-timer. Jordan Adams proving elusive for the Indians to check, but Adams hasn't had the finish, and now Camp and Jones run into each other. That had to hurt. Camp's headed to the PT bench. Here comes Kurt Johnson dropping it off for Adams, and he didn't get a lot on that shot. It simply arcs into the chest of Sharbaugh with 10:56 left in the second period. This is Matt Geica coming to you live from South Point, the building formerly known as the Isoplex, now known as Printscape for the second season. Hosting PIHL hockey, it's the home of the Peters Township Indians, the Cannon McMillan Big Macs, as well as the Trinity Hillers. Seekley pinned to the far side wall against Garrett Sample of Cathedral Prep. And now the Ramblers' James Sturm will clear this high into the air. Bounces free to Ryan Lee. Couldn't get a lot on that pass. In fact, it flips right to Paglia. Paglia drifting backward behind the PT net, but his pass was taken away by Brady Seekley. Indians having some trouble getting it out. Seekley tries again, and he does find DiNardo with that pass. DiNardo skating in after it, but swooping in to take it is Garrett Sample. Sample and DiNardo lock horns in the corner. And picked up on the move by Alexei Kowalis. Good strong skating. And made a pass over on near wing for Khrushchevsky, who's been pretty quiet in this game for a guy with 20 points on the season. Khrushchevsky scored twice last year in the Ramblers' win on the Indians' home ice. One of the handful of times PT's lost at home in the last 4 years. At least since I've been doing this, it's not been a very common occurrence. Lee holds the point. Ryan Lee's shot, save made, rebound, poked wide by DiNardo. He had his first goal staring him in the face there, but he couldn't guide it on line, and some traffic in the way as well. That didn't help. Patrick Kelly missed on that cross-ring pass. This is Lee to Watsula, and now Jacob Gray will backhand it deep. Lehman, can he get there in time? He won't be able to, but he'll at least lay a check there on the far wing against Sample. Away into the offensive zone was Khrushchevsky, but just briefly. Breaking back now, Watsula. Fine little move. Slided the pass to the front, did Watsula, but Gray couldn't locate it in the blue paint. Now Gray tapping into this near wing. but cleared down and out by Cathedral Prep. It was deflected by Paglia, rules the officiating crew, so no icing here. Lehman finesses that to center, trying to find Gray. That's rejected by the Ramblers. And after it is James Sturm of Cathedral Prep. Sturm to Paglia. Spins out toward the top of the circle and then fed it below the goal line. Oh, there's a huge check, and one of the Indians is down. That's Aiden Alexander. He took that one right in the chest, I believe, from Adams. Now Adams goes to the front, bouncing puck. Flipped away from him. Oh, there was Schwartz nearly tapping it ahead for a breakaway, and he's still going to get a chance. Schwartz is in, made the pass across. Oh, what a save by Faulkner on Lehman. A 2-on-0 as it developed. Schwartz wanted to be unselfish. So the Indians' leading goal scorer made the pass over to Lehman, but it was a little bit in his skates. And so Lehman couldn't lift it past the sprawling Faulkner, who deserves all the credit for reading that play well and keeping it 1-0 with 8:22 to go in the second period. Anthos jamming that face-off win back to the wall. A deflected shot by Schwartz, and Faulkner locates it somewhere in his equipment. It fell down to the ice. And Faulkner trying to sweep it up with the glove hand, unable to do so in the snow that's accumulating in front of his net. That's usually the case at this point of a PIHL game with no ice cut between periods, between the first and second periods, I should say. Late second is when things get a little choppy out there. Usually helps the goalies, in fact. Anthos wanted to win that face-off all by himself on his second touch, but he ended up giving it away. Paglia's slap shot, and Sharbaugh had to be sharp to boot that out. Here's Adams turning, looking to jam it. He got two shots off at Adams, and Sharbaugh stopped both, including that second one that was flipped into his chest. And here, Sharbaugh will hang on to a shot from Paglia on the outside of the net, right there on that apron, and simply hold on for the whistle with 7:59 to go in the second period. Just two penalties in this game. One to each side, but no power plays yet. And that plays into the Indians' hands. They are easily the most effective team in terms of goal differential in this division when it comes to 5-on-5 play. In fact, PT has the fewest power play opportunities in the league. So it hasn't been about the man advantage at all, really, this season. Luppy, a little head fake to get away from Orlando. His teammates love that, but his cross-ring pass puts the Indians offside. Jake Bush saying, I thought I waited for Anthos, but apparently not, according to referee Morgan, who was standing right there to make the call. 7.5 left in the second. 1-0 Peters Township on a Dylan McElhaney goal, his second of his first varsity season. McElhaney from John Camp, who makes his return to the lineup tonight. Make that now 5 points for Camp in 5 games at this level. 4 goals, and that's his first helper. McElhaney uses that large frame to pin a Rambler to the wall, but the puck hops free in front of the Cathedral Prep net and swung out to center by Sample. Another big check here. Barrett was cleaned out by John Schoenig. But here are the Indians again. McElhaney in the middle, and he saw the check coming, kind of lifted up and whiffed on the shot as a result. This is the most physical game I think I've seen so far involving the Peters Township Indians this season. Camp picking his way into the middle, or at least trying to, but the puck hopped off his stick. It was poked away, and here comes Hayden Cox back on the move. Cox's flip goes to the side of the net, so Sharbaugh will let his defenseman Owen Barrett pick it up. Barrett takes a check to make the play. Camp taps it along. Ryan Lee, the defenseman's up ahead. Lee's shot nearly bounced in. It was off a Rambler's stick and hops into the near corner. Now Lee takes a short little pass from McElhaney. Wanted to dangle past Khrushchevsky. It jumps over to the far side. Barrett couldn't get that blast through traffic. Now Camp being held off nicely by Alexei Kowalis. He's shown some good skating in this game so far. Kowalis makes the lead pass ahead. Here's Patrick Kelly. Couldn't get past Lee, who kept a good stick right on that puck. But here's Kelly continuing to be persistent. Lost it to Lee, and he'll send it the length of the rink, but it'll go right on net. So Faulkner has to make the play with the paddle with under 6 to play in the second and keep the clock moving. Lehman shot it in, but Drew Wilbert was definitely way ahead of that play, so he has to tag up at the blue line, and in fact, Wilbert was going off the ice anyway. Barrett shot it right back into the mix. Indians will try again. Puck hops loose to Jacob Gray. Gray jumping in behind the net after one stick handling move, got him some space, and he wanted to find Lehman in front, but it's off the shin pad of Lehman. Lehman was turned to the side by the checking in front of the net, coming from Griffin Gerlach. Here's a lead dish and maybe a one-on-one chance now for Khrushchevsky. Khrushchevsky, good move. He's in against Sharbaugh, and he scored! Wow, Khrushchevsky ties this game. Cathedral Prep's top gun gets his 11th goal of the season with 5:15 left in the second period, and the Indians just could not prevent him from putting on the moves and jamming it past Sharbaugh, who I thought got the pad to the post anyway. But apparently there was just enough space between the pad and the post to allow Cathedral Prep to tie this one up. And that's the man they won in that one-on-one situation. So Khrushchevsky's 11th has made it a 1-1 game. That's already an accomplishment for Cathedral Prep. Usually when teams are trailing PT in the second period, it's all but over. That's been the case for most of the games this season. Camp lurking in front of the net, but couldn't get to that pass from DiNardo as it was poked away from him. 1-1 game. Adams cleared it just barely. Jones knocked it right back in, and here's Adams setting sail. In over the blue line, Adams cuts and shoots, but Bush partially blocked that. The rebound, though, knocked right into the chest of Sharbaugh on the follow-up look. I believe that was Marcus Shearer on the follow chance. Shearer getting a rare shift here. Made the most of it. That was a legit scoring opportunity in this 1-1 game. 4:38 to go in the second period. Anthos takes a swing at that face-off, and the Indians do clear after the loose puck was corralled by Ryan Lee. Lee now couldn't get it past the referee on the far side, who leans back in some discomfort. Didn't affect the play too much, as now Ryan Luppe will circle the wagons for the Indians here. Barrett. Bank play out to center, but Schwartz was checked, and the puck hops loose to the Ramblers and James Sturm. Backpedaling, gave it up in the neutral zone, but again, PT just barely offside here, pulling the puck in over the offensive blue line. McElhaney for PT and Khrushchevsky for Cathedral Prep. Those are your goal scorers in this game. Face off in the neutral ice area. Last time these two teams met, back in November. Now Luppe will kick this puck to his stick and shoot as he cut into the slot area, and there's Faulkner absorbing that one. I think Luppe will tell you he was trying to go for more of a corner look there, but ended up pumping it right into the chest, the CP crest on Faulkner's jersey. Schwartz dumps in behind the net. Lee crept down to the corner to keep this one alive and in possession of the Indians. Anthos, who had 2 goals last year against Cathedral Prep. Team split the series 1-1, each winning on opposing ice, and in fact, it's 3 in a row between these two teams where the visiting squad has won. Barrett, a rising shot from inside the blue line. Faulkner makes the save standing up. The Indians have lost just once on home ice to North Allegheny, otherwise 7 victories, including a couple in which they were technically the road team against Ken and Mac, but I count those as home wins. Cathedral Prep has won 4 times all year, but just once away from home in 6 tries. Camp pries a Rambler off the puck, but he's centered and it's intercepted. Taken away by Eric Schwab. Schwab leading Yakabuchi into the offensive end, but he's dispossessed. Down to 3 and change to go in the second period. Barrett and Alexander rips it off the kick plate, side wall. He wanted to make a pass to the middle. Here's Drew Wilbert, just barely keeping it in the offensive zone, but he gave it right back to Eric Schwab, the Cathedral Prep defenseman. Camp lost the puck in his skates, but picking it up is Drew Wilbert. He wanted to make a backhand play, but Schwab got the stick in the way. Eric Schwab, an active shift, always around the puck here for the team in orange and black. And net off its moorings here. It apparently was caused by McElhaney as he ducked in behind the net, so the faceoff will come out in the neutral ice area. 2:40 left in the second. No power plays yet in this game. We've played about 35 minutes here. Or pardon me, 32 minutes. Almost 15 gone in this second period and 17 played in the first. Gray will shoot. A big rebound, a juicy one for Lehman off the glove of Faulkner, but no harm for Cathedral Prep, as in fact they'll go on the counterattack here. Cutting inside and wristing one was Kowalas. He's denied by Sharbaugh, and the rebound is chipped right back through and behind Sharbaugh and wide of the net. Szymanski for PT, backhanded that off the stick of the retreating Orlando, and it hops into the Cathedral Prep bench. 2:10 to go in the second period, and because it was last touched by a Rambler, the faceoff will be in their zone. Cathedral Prep started 0-7. They've won 4 of 6. Meanwhile, PT hasn't lost since late October. They're working on an 11-game unbeaten streak, 10-0-1. The only loss was when they fielded what was essentially a split squad down at the Ross Straver Ice Garden a couple weeks ago in a makeup game against Mount Lebo. Here's a sharp shot right into the glove of Sharbaugh from Patrick Kelly. If I had to pick the best player in this game for Cathedral Prep, I'd say it's Kelly, number 44. He's been consistently dangerous. No offense to Khrushchevsky, who now jumps on the ice here to complete the change. He has the goal, but I think Kelly's brought it every time out over the boards. Lee, take this and try to get it out. Look out, Gray. He was run over at the line, and that'll be apparently a penalty against Evan Sala. Sala, who hit Gray high. Jacob Gray making his varsity debut tonight. That's a rough welcome. Lehman will swirl in behind the net with the puck on his backhand side. Sharbaugh is out of the goal. The Indians have the extra attacker out there. They still possess it. Gray does lose control as he's double-teamed there in the corner, but here comes the elbowing call. Referee Denny Urban makes the call. And with 1:22 left in the second, that sends PT to the first power play of this game for either side. As I mentioned, it is Evan Sala, the defenseman. Peters Township's power play ranks 6th out of the 9 AAA teams. 18% conversion rate. Cathedral Prep has killed off penalties at a 78% clip. That's 7th out of 9. Schwartz giving to Barrett. Barrett's shot and gobbled up by Faulkner. No further play. 1:15 left in the second. So we'll go by that clock as the penalty will continue on into the third if the Indians don't score. Here in a 1-1 game, PT has a chance to get back on top. Face-off, though, won by Paglia. However, the Ramblers couldn't clear on first try. Lee, though, gave it right back to Cathedral Prep, and so Barrett has to go back for it. Paglia checked Barrett back behind the play, but here's Anthos. Anthos, 16 assists to lead Class AAA. Good little pass out to Barrett. Barrett low for Lee. Sharp angle shot. Stop made by Faulkner as he held his ground on the post. Luppy yanks it free of a crowd. Anthos drove it behind the net, and it hops out to this near side. Schwartz with 46 seconds to go in the second period. Torrey Schwartz leads his team in goals with 14. He wants the puck back, but Barrett gave it to Anthos. Now near side Schwartz lines it up and shoots off the post and cleared off the leg of Lee and out to center. You can hear that one from all the way out on Interstate 79. Anthos cutting inside, left it there. Lee's shot, glove save, Faulkner, and he holds with 23 seconds to go in the second. Good power play so far for the Indians, but nothing on the board, and now Rick Tingle wants to change it up, and he'll send his second 5-man unit out there. Mark Lehman's going to take this face-off. Lehman missed 1 game this year, last game, in fact. He has 10 goals on the year. Lehman to Drew Wilbert, put it back in front. Lehman's backhand, he scored! No! They're waving it off. Now they're saying it's in. It is in. I thought so. Lehman's backhand ramped off a stick, hit the crossbar, and dropped over the goal line. Lehman gets his 11th of the season. He's going to break his rusty cage and run 2-1 PT on the power play conversion with 19 seconds to go in the second. Clutch goal from Lehman. Give Drew Wilbert a lot of credit for backhanding that, protecting the puck, and slipping it right in front of the net where Lehman could pick it up on his backhand and swing it off a stick and in. The rare power play conversion, just the 6th power play goal in now game number 16 of the season for the Indians. It hasn't been a special teams kind of season. Now with 10 seconds left, the Ramblers look for one last attempt to move it up ice, but they won't be able to. Alexander picks it off at center, 1 second to go. Kelly's going to let fly. No, he won't. He runs out of time as he had to hesitate with the puck bouncing at his skates. 2-1 Peters Township after 2 periods of play. This is Matt Geika live from Princescape Arena at South Point. Our return for the 3rd period, and who knows, maybe a little bit more in what's been a very competitive and highly entertaining high school hockey game tonight. Back in a moment on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page and PTCT7. And we're back at Princescape Arena. This is Matt Geika with the call solo this evening on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page, along with Peters Township Community Television, Channel 7. And thanks to both for bringing these games to you. As here we go. A chance right at the start of the 3rd period, charging toward the net was Alexei Kowalis, but he was fended off at the last moment. Snaps a pass out high. Orlando's shot. Sharbaugh makes the save. Rebound, Kelly couldn't backhand it in as he was checked by Owen Barrett. Here we go back the other way. Down to my right, Peters Township attacking, leading it 2-1. Camp, he nearly connected there with Drew Wilbert. Then the goaltender for Cathedral Prep, Seth Faulkner, kicked his own net off the post, or off the mooring. So it'll be reset by the referee, Denny Urban. Okay, so we have some clarification on why Jacob Gray, who was listed as a goaltender this year, was apparently out there. That is not him. That is Eric Wilbert wearing Jacob Gray's jersey because Eric Wilbert forgot his jersey at home. So there you go. 36 is actually 55 if you see him out there. Here's a turning chance. And just missing the net, Kowalis. He's had a strong start to this 3rd period. Cathedral Preps look good in this game. They do not look like a team that's in 8th place. That's for certain. PT won 6-3 in the first meeting between these two teams up in Erie. Going down hard, Barrett there in a tie-up on the far side with Khrushchevsky, the leading scorer for Cathedral Prep, who nonchalantly adjusts his shin guard as he heads off. Doesn't appear worse for that wear. Torrey Schwartz. 14 goals on the year. Looked to backhand it deep, but it was knocked down by James Sturm. Here's Anthos. Anthos' shot, and for a moment it appeared that Faulkner didn't know where it was, but it drifted right in front of him into the blue paint. And so he pins it down with the glove hand. So that solves the mystery of Gray on the ice as a skater. Watsula gives it across the rink there after the face-off win by Peters Township. And this is Eric Wilbert centering for Lehman, and he had his feet taken out from under him. He was jammed right in front of the net as a snapshot from Adams is deflected over the crossbar by Hunter Ferguson, defending well. Jordan Adams, 6 goals on the year in 6 games. I'm sure the Ramblers would have loved to have him for more this season. Hi to Nick Malenka joining us on the broadcast as well. You can join the conversation there on Facebook. Feel free to leave a comment. Say hello. Eric Wilbert wanting to center, and it's off the pad of Faulkner. Maneuvering free of traffic with the puck, Evan Sala. Sala had 2 goals last time out. His only 2 of the season against Mount Lebo. Lehman does well to take this pass in his skates from Alexander. Lehman reaching forward, but had it stripped. And PT has to go chasing after it. It's Ferguson driving it around the wall. From the near wing, Gerlach. D-to-D pass. In behind the net, taken by Sala. Indians keep it pinned in the offensive zone. Ferguson moved down the wall, but lost control of it again, and it's tossed out to center ice by the visitors. 14.5 to go in the 3rd period, 2-1 Peters Township. Alexander to the backhand, now tried to stuff on the forehand side, and the puck banged off the outside of the net. Jones covering the point here. Josh Jones turned one way. There was a Rambler in his face, so he went back the other. Now Jones takes it from Seekley and shot it off a stick and off the end glass. From the far side, James Sturm. Sturm couldn't get it through one man, but picked it up himself. Now looking to pull it around an Indian was John Schoenig, but no sail. Seekley reaches out and takes the puck into the offensive end. Seekley, the give to Jones, a backhand dish across the front of the crease, and it missed connecting with DiNardo. Jones couldn't take that pass down the wall, but Seekley well behind the net. Seekley to Jones, bottom of the circle. Wrister blocked on the way by Orlando, and it's held on to there by Faulkner, who pushes away from that bit of traffic, that tie-up at the side of his net. Mark Lehman has the go-ahead goal at this point. He scored with 19 seconds to go in the second period. Off an assist from Drew Wilbert, Lehman's 11th of the year, and his 4th point of the year against Cathedral Prep. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Ramblers in November, as did Torrey Schwartz. Kelly shooting, that one handcuffed Sharbaugh. Loose behind the net. Kelly scored on the centering play from Kowalis to Kelly. And if ever a player deserved a goal, it was Kelly tonight, and he gets one to tie the score with 13:21 remaining in regulation time. And the horse not out of the barn by any means now, as Cathedral Prep has pushed back. I've been impressed by the Ramblers' game tonight. They've been persistent. Shots on goal relatively even in this game, and now Patrick Kelly has tied it up. There's still plenty of time left for both sides. Give Kowalis the assist. And Kowalis has been fired out of a gun to start this third period. Hard work doesn't always pay off in this game, but you like to think it does, and in this case it has for those two Ramblers. Icing here against Cathedral Prep gives PT a chance, and the top line's out there. Luppy takes his face-off win. Pass in the skates of Schwartz. He has to hightail it back. Khrushchevsky was right there, and Schwartz did well to at least hold it up. Kowalis, the handoff to Khrushchevsky, who has a goal in this game. Missed the target on that long wrist shot. Hung on to it the near side boards, but Lee got in the way of that push by Orlando. Flipped toward the front by Kowalis. Patted aside by Sharbaugh. Luppy. Rolling puck. Can he try to control that? Under 13 to play in regulation now. 2-2 the score. Can the Ramblers end the Indians' long unbeaten streak? It's been 3 months since they lost. Lee with his head up. Had the puck drift away from him, though. Bit of a mishandle at center. Now Khrushchevsky pulls it free. Goes far wing to Paglia. Has Khrushchevsky go into the net. Got it to him, and Khrushchevsky missed. Now he wanted to try to bank it in off Sharbaugh, did Khrushchevsky, but he couldn't do that either. So a chance for the Ramblers to go ahead. A block play. Sturm ducks in behind the net. Wanted to center. Luppy was defending well in front of his goal. And Ryan Luppy, the Indians captain, hooks up with Schwartz. Gave it right back to Luppy on a great play. Luppy has some room. Shot it off the glove of Faulkner and wide. Great job by the Indians' number 1 unit, though. Lee clears it across. Anthos takes, puts in front, off a leg. Schwartz, can he catch up to the rebound? No, it'll bounce free to the corner. Sala. Evan Sala gets it by Schwartz. No, he can't. Schwartz persistent in the corner, but now Sturm takes over for Cathedral Prep. And he'll flip it down the rink. Good pass there to Adams. With the head of steam, Adams cuts in, and he shot that one well too high. He almost went into the path of Owen Barrett, curiously enough. I thought he might try to go around the outside. Anthos, end of his shift, but he has enough left in his legs to connect on a pass to Lee, who backhands. And now Anthos in front of the net. He scores. It's Watsula. On the pass from Luppy, or Anthos rather. Brilliant stuff right at the end of that shift. Anthos, I didn't think he had much left, but he continued to skate, found that puck behind the net, and his backhand pass to Watsula has put the Indians back on top. 3-2. Say hello to heaven, Nico Watsula. He's got his 4th. The senior nudged it past the outstretched pad of Seth Faulkner to put PT back ahead. 11:21 to go in the third. And give Anthos his division-leading 17th assist on that play. After a brief discussion there at the scorer's area, the puck is dropped. This is Eric Wilbert wearing number 36 tonight. Lehman skating to it and chops it behind the Cathedral Prep goal line. So PT keeps up its late game offensive trends. That's a couple here in the second and third period combined. 3-2 Indians. Moving on back here is Yakabuchi, but he couldn't get the shot through. Chasing to the corner, John Schoenig. The give out to the point. Turning drive there from Hayden Cox. Loose in front, they score on the rebound. Cathedral Prep ties it again. John Schoenig, his first goal in 7 varsity games this year. 10:48 left in the third. We go back and forth at Princescape. What a game tonight. All the goals here in this third, even strength, 3 of them in total. 2 for Cathedral Prep, 1 for Peters Township. Schoenig's first of the year. One of the biggest goals of the season for Cathedral Prep. Trying to win its 5th in 7 games after that 0-7 start. And the Ramblers are on fire, as you might imagine. Their emotions are tuned up. Kelly misfiring there from the top of the right circle. Charball let it go. Bush, Jake Bush, second attempt, but he gave it a little too far for Seekley to hang on. Cole Szymanski, can he get it out? Khrushchevsky steps over to hand it off and give it over to Kowallis, but his centering play just slipped away from Kelly, who wasn't really looking for that puck. Now Szymanski banks it off the window and out to the Cathedral Prep blue line. Khrushchevsky takes this lead pass, though, from Sample. Jacob Khrushchevsky left the puck behind. Szymanski now swats it ahead. Intensity picking up here in a 3-3 game, under 10 to play in regulation time. Second of 2 meetings this regular season between these two, and if this game's any guide, this would be a heck of a first-round playoff matchup. Right now it would be the matchup if seedings hold in the first round of the Penguins Cup playoffs. Ryan Lee, the pass to an open wing, taken on there by Jordan Adams. Barrett takes it right back, though, for Peters Township. Now John Camp on the overlap, Drew Wilbert, but it was a little behind him. Camp yanks it away. John Camp has an assist tonight. Bumped into a man. Drew Wilbert flipped it up in the air, off a couple of sticks, loose to the front of the net, and a quick whistle benefits Cathedral Prep. My goodness. The puck was right at the top of the crease, and it's blown dead with 9:18 left in the third. 3-3 the score. McElhaney, Lehman, and Watsula have scored for Peters Township. The Indians have led 3 times in this game, but each time the Ramblers have come back to tie. One of the best games of the year that I've called, at least, for the Indians in terms of competitiveness. So often this year, the Indians have simply blitzed teams in the third period, if they hadn't already done it by the second, that is. Drew Wilbert leaning in here against Orlando. He had Camp behind him, and Camp was calling for it, but Wilbert was checked off the puck before he could do anything with it. Adams clears it off the side wall and out to the Peters Township line. Lee bouncing puck in a dangerous spot. He had James Stern pressuring him. Backhand play from Sala. Can the Ramblers get it out? Looks like Stern will be able to buy some time and space, but he couldn't give it up the far wing to Paglia. Camp, look at him turn and leave for McElhaney's snapshot, and that missed about a foot high of the net. McElhaney on that loose puck, though, catches up to his own rebound, overskated. It'll be Alexander gloving it down and shooting. Save made. Rebound Camp. And I think he hit the outside of the net. Maybe the pad. Rebound and put in front of the net by Camp to McElhaney, and he was denied. Maybe blocked, in fact. I don't even think the goaltender Faulkner got a save. Ferguson, good awareness to keep that puck alive at the blue line. From behind the net, now emerging out this near side, it's Drew Wilbert. The Indians' number 25 settles in here. Stick handling, passing to Camp, who got a stick to it, but couldn't direct it on target. Under 8 to play in regulation. Ferguson negates the possible hand pass by touching it down himself. Drew Wilbert, and he yanked the pass to the top of the crease, but that's intercepted and cleared. Ferguson chasing and finding and connecting with Luppy. Luppy's attempted cross-ring dish was blocked off, and here comes Anthos back to retrieve here. 3-3, Peters Township and Cathedral Prep from South Point, PA. Stick check by Alexander keeps the puck in the possession of the Indians here on the giveaway by the Ramblers. Ferguson sends it around the wood. Too far for Alexander. Ferguson's going to have to go and get it again. Under some pressure here from Khrushchevsky. Schwartz clicks a pass here, bouncing around, and Anthos will finally be able to control. Jeremy Anthos has his league-leading 17th assist in this game, in this third period, in fact, as he gave it in front to Watsula to put the Indians ahead 3-2. But less than a minute after that, Cathedral Prep tied it up on John Schoenig's first goal this season. Kelly unable to receive this pass. It'll be an icing call against the visiting team. 6:46 left in the third. Cathedral Prep has not played an overtime game yet this season. PT has gone to overtime twice, winning in a shootout and losing in a shootout. They beat Central Catholic in the second game of the year in a shootout out in Harmerville, and they lost at Rostraver Ice Garden to Mount Lebo a couple of weeks ago in that rare two-game week in the PIHL schedule. Off the scramble, Indians have it. Szymanski shoved it down the boards, but taken there and cleared out by Griffin Gerlach. On the chase here is the Ramblers' Cox, but he overskates as Szymanski was able to hold it up. Now Jake Bush, junior defender for the Indians, did manage to clear out to this near side. PT has to try again as they ran into trouble in the neutral ice area. Watsula couldn't get it out. Gerlach, he'll feed it into this near side corner. Bush overtaken by Cox. His pass off the outside of the goal frame, but Watsula couldn't clear. Here's a chance and a score! It might have been deflected in front, but Evan Salas shot it. If it's his goal, it's his third in 2 games. He's going to lead the handshake line. Cathedral Prep has the lead with 6:03 left. Upset in the making if PT can't come back and tie this up. So a turnover, and Sala pounds it past Sharbaugh from inside the left face-off circle. Judging by the reaction, I think it is Sala's goal. The defenseman cracking it home. And what do we have here? The first lead of the game for Cathedral Prep. It's been back and forth all night, but this is the first time PT's trailed. Let's see what the Indians have left in him. Drew Wilbert turns the corner, put it in front. Big rebound out to Barrett. Owen Barrett shot loose to the side of the net. Picking it up is Camp, and he missed the open goal as he fell down. And the net was off its peg anyway. That may not have counted. And the goaltender, Faulkner, reaches to his mask. That was falling off too. As he lunged back, it stayed on. Boy, that would have been a heck of a call if Camp would have put that into the net. If it was in the process of being knocked off, that goal can be allowed to stand. Camp will get the face-off here. Each side still has its timeout left with 5:39 remaining in the third. Cathedral Prep leads at 4-3 here on the home ice of the Indians, where they've lost just once all year, and that was to the second-place team, North Allegheny. Barrett can't get it past his man. Here comes Sturm back. Sturm to the middle, and a stick lift by McElhaney at the last moment to prevent Adams from putting it into the open net. Chase Paglia shoots and scores! Paglia goes top shelf through a screen, and the Ramblers have a 2-goal lead. 4 goals in the third for Cathedral Prep. Incredible stuff, but that's why you come out here each and every night. You don't know what's going to happen. 5:17 left, and Chase Paglia has rung up a goal. Going to the shelf for his 4th of the season. All the goals for Cathedral Prep tonight at even strength. The Indians are allowing just 2.2 per game. They had the second best scoring defense in the league coming into tonight. That's going to take a hit. Giving up 5. It's 5-3, and now PT doesn't quite need a miracle yet, but they need quite a push here at the end. The Indians are capable, of course, averaging 4 goals per game, but they need 5 tonight to force OT. Didn't think I'd be saying that coming into the third. Anthos leaning in, left it there. Schwartz dropped it off. Luppy's shot didn't get through. That was blocked by Kowalis. Schwartz gives it out to the point. Ferguson shot it wide intentionally. Luppy looking to bank it in, and he couldn't do it. Faulkner got to the post and just barely keeps that out with 4:35 remaining. 4 goals in this third period for Cathedral Prep. Kelly, Schoenig, Sala, and Paglia. Watsula had one in the mix for PT. It was a 3-2 Indians lead just 6 minutes of game time ago. Off the face-off and right to the front of the net. That's where Eric Wilbert will jam it in to Faulkner, but nothing further from that. Lehman leans in it, hops loose back to the point. Alexander lost control. Here's a chance now for Khrushchevsky to maybe put it away. Backhand, save made by Sharbaugh. Keeps his team alive, does the senior goaltender. He's made a couple like that this year on clean breakaways. But the Indians have to continue to take chances. It may be on Sharbaugh to make at least another one of those. Lehman to Watsula on the far side, guided it into the offensive zone, but now it's taken by Kelly. Faked one way, now he goes in behind the net. Tapped it ahead to Khrushchevsky. Gave it back to Kelly on the extended give and go, and now it's shot right into the Ramblers bench by Eric Wilbert. Dangerous play there, especially for the coaches. Players have helmets on. Under 4 to play in the third. And, well, what's the ruling here? Maybe are they saying it was off a Rambler's stick or a body? So, yes, it will be a center ice face-off. That's a break for the Indians. They don't have to lug it the extra few feet here. If they do get control, and they end up with it, off Anthos' draw control. Luppy, good pass there to Anthos and over the line. Anthos drags it free and shoots. Glove save made by Faulkner as it deflects to the corner. Jeremy Anthos hasn't had many goals this season. Just 3, in fact, but that was a goal scorer's shot, trying to go to the shelf like Paglia just did against Sharbaugh at the other end. Anthos tees one up and shoots. Faulkner absorbs it into the chest. This one's going to be a rocky ride to the finish for Cathedral Prep, I'd bet. The Indians are looking inspired now, down by 2 goals. Well, it's been a rare occurrence this year. They trailed 4-0 to North Allegheny here before making it 4-3. Then North Allegheny got an empty netter. That was back in mid-October. That's the last time the Indians lost. And a deflection goes wide of the Indians' goal here. That's Paglia, who has scored tonight. He has the go-ahead goal, in fact. Anthos tapping it to himself. Jeremy Anthos to Luppy, one-timer. Save made. Faulkner again. My goodness, Faulkner. Sprawling all over the place. I thought that was going to be in the back of the net when the pass was made. Luppy couldn't lift it, but give Faulkner credit. He got that toe over. Otherwise, it still would have gone in. Paglia downshifting and shooting, and Barrett got a piece to block it away to the corner. 5-3 rather. Cathedral Prep. The visitors lead it by 2 with 2:44 to go. Off the rebound, it's jammed wide of the net by Hayden Cox. Here are the Indians now, maybe a 3-on-2. It's Schwartz looking in front, put it there, and Camp ends up colliding with the net, and that's a break for Cathedral Prep to stop play. It was Camp with Schwartz and Luppy charging ahead. Partial change was underway. And the draw coming in the neutral zone. Mark Lehman pulled it on back to Alexander. Lead pass for Camp. Camp missed the target, but the Indians will keep it alive. Ferguson, Lehman, back out to Hunter Ferguson. Junior defender made the pass over to Aiden Alexander. No screen on that shot. Lehman wanted to try to tip it, but it was well away from his reach. 2:17 left in the third. I'll keep an eye on Brock Sharbaugh down to my left, the senior goalie for PT. Just made a breakaway save on Jacob Khrushchevsky to keep his team in it, but he's likely to go to the bench sometime very soon. We'll see what Rick Tingle decides. Drew Wilbert knocked it off the boards, and here comes that man again, Khrushchevsky. Cut around Lehman. Khrushchevsky dangling again, a backhand, and Sharbaugh denied him his second spectacular goal of this night. It's Khrushchevsky who scored to tie the game at 1 midway through the second period. Indians went back ahead going into the third. Cathedral Prep tied it again. Indians went back ahead. And then Cathedral Prep has the last 3 goals in this game. No icing here. It's waved off, not quite sure why. I don't think it was touched by a PT player. Lee gave it away, Kelly, and he scored! My goodness, it looks like Cathedral Prep's going to skate out of here with a victory. Kelly takes the turnover and rips it past the blocker hand of Sharbaugh with 1:29 left. And the Indians might not even pull their goalie now. It's a 6-3 Cathedral Prep lead. Kelly gets his second of the night, 6th of the season, unassisted. And that may have done it. How about a 5-goal third period for Erie Cathedral Prep? Very impressed by this team. They've come in to Princegate for the second consecutive season, and they're about ready to knock off the first place team in Class AAA. Anthos trying to prevent that. Now it's miracle time for the Indians. Can they get 3 in the last minute and 15 at the side of the net? And quick whistle there. Now Luppy cross-checking Gerlach a couple of times. Off the draw here, Anthos wins it back. It's Luppy spinning it over to the far side. And tossed down the ice here by Cathedral Prep's Paglia. Paglia, one of the heroes in this third. Lee takes the breakout pass. Indians down by 3. Anthos floats it ahead. Anthos shooting, and that hit a stick. Schwartz retrieves on the sidewall. Gave it up. Looks like Charbonneau is going to stay in net with his team down by 3 goals now. Charbonneau hasn't gotten a lot of support in this third period. He's been beaten 5 times, but for the most part, all from close range. Schwartz from behind the net. The Indians' leading goal scorer wants to get one here. He misfired. Lee, the shot, bangs around off shin pads. Luppy couldn't get it home. 23 seconds to go. Anthos has the puck hop free to him. He was hooked up a bit. Now a stick comes loose. That's one of the Ramblers' twigs. And Lee sends Adams twirling to the ice with 12.8 remaining. Cathedral Prep making it even more impressive. Did not get a single power play tonight. We just had 1 total in the game. It went to the Indians. Mark Lehman converted on it. And so for just the 3rd time all season, Peters Township's about to lose a hockey game. PT will drop to 12-3-1 and leave themselves still vulnerable at the top of Class AAA. It's not over by any means. A win tonight would have made it pretty tough for North Allegheny to catch up. Kelly swats that one out of the air. Down to 4 seconds to go in this game. It's touched by a high stick by Khrushchevsky, but Seekley will touch it right afterward, wiping out any potential stoppage in play before the final buzzer. That's it. Ramblers win it 6-3. 5 goals in the third. The Indians had 3 separate leads, but could not convert it into win number 13. So now Peters Township will skate into next Monday's action at Mount Lebo, just trying to stay ahead of North Allegheny for the top spot in PIHL Class AAA play. As for Cathedral Prep, that's their 5th win in their past 7 games. The Ramblers improved to 5-9. They split the regular season series against the division's number 1 squad. The Indians dropped to 12-3-1 and 7-2-1 on home ice. Well, I mentioned it, next Monday, 7:10 p.m. face-off from the Mount Lebo Ice Center. I'll be there, hopefully joined by Brian Chichak alongside. We'll have the broadcast live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, in addition to on tape delay on PTC TV. One last time from Printscape, this is Matt Geica saying good night. Cathedral Prep 6, Peters Township 3. Your final score, and a shocker on this Tuesday evening.